despite what their moms told them. They just aren't talented enough for radio. Unfortunately, anyone can have a show these days. Sean.
Well, I'm pretty hard to figure out sometimes. In fact, I can't even figure myself out sometimes, so don't you try to.
Joe.
You're an idiot and really a disloyal person.
This is the Cuse Militia. Now, those two unapologetically biased orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
It's the most bullshit thing I've seen in 30 years.
Welcome, orange men and ladies. Happy Monday. This is the Cuse Militia with Sean and Joe. Come on, Joe.
I tried.
All right. That's all he's got. Nothing. Again, at Cuse Militia on the socials. Go there. Join the militia. We're back to talk about a win. And after Syracuse beat themselves, pretty good the game before, Virginia Tech, was it? I believe it was Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Right? SMU. Yes. The almost win. The other almost win.
It was a surprise that we were in that position, not that we lost.
I mean, it would have been the best win of the season. Best, best team that we beat, I should say. So, looking at this is kind of my first question, I guess. Syracuse does go out. Look, I'll say this. It doesn't much matter to me what kind of year UVA is having. I would put UVA up there with a UNC, a Duke, as far as ACC dominance as of late, through the past decade. Maybe even, which is pretty accurate, because even since when we joined in 2014, Tony Bennett and UVA have been pretty dominant there, right? We've had some good wins against UVA, really good wins against UVA, down by 21 time.
In the tournament?
Yeah. So, it's always good to, my point is it's a high caliber team. I don't care what kind of year they're having. It wouldn't matter if it was UNC having a bad year and we beat them. It wouldn't matter if it was Duke having a bad year and we beat them. It doesn't matter. It's always good. However, they're not great. Okay? But with that said, it felt good to beat UVA. I don't care who was coaching either, by the way. This is where I'm at. Just in general. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
Is that fair? The SMU game, I was highly disappointed. That was my biggest disappointment all year. That was probably my biggest, even though knowing what we got to do and how this thing has gone all year, to just watch another lead just be blown. It's like getting beat over and over again. Sometimes you get used to it and then you take one really hard. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts. That one hurt.
Yeah, it's tough to get used to being up double digits in the second half and then losing 3 games in a row.
Yeah, there was a trend that was started at one point. And, Virginia Tech was one of those, by the way. It's just we had 2 in a row and then we're facing Virginia. And probably Virginia, honestly, being, besides...
I started to get the feeling. In that second half.
So did I. Put a poll out, too, and everybody else is getting the same feeling we were getting, Between Cal and Florida State, those are our best ACC wins, if not better wins of the season, if I'm being honest.
Which ones?
Cal and Virginia. What did I say? Cal and Virginia, I think, were 2 of the better teams that we beat all year.
I'm thinking of Georgia Tech.
Okay, well, that's fair. You beat any team twice in the season, too, is a big deal. And we beat Boston College twice, right?
Yeah, our only road were Boston College and Cal. So
the Youngstown State win, that was a great one.
Hey, man, watch out for them.
Too.
Maybe a 14 seed.
They actually did okay this year. I think 20-12. So
yeah.
Anyways, a two overtime game. Anyways, my point is this: I'm gonna take the win. We're gonna move on to the ACC tournament. One of the better games. We could sit here and debate if that was the best win or up there with the best wins or whatever. One of the best games thoroughly played by Syracuse, and Eddie Lampkin again. I'm gonna hammer it again because why not? All the criticism and backlash for the 44, this stuff started before he bounced the ball on Boeheim Court. For all of that, the dude finishes on senior night with 25 and 10. For his, 13th double-double of the year? I mean,
14.
Was it 14? Okay. Dominant. Just dominant. And enough can't be said about Eddie Lampkin. I wish he had 3 more years. So, finished the year with 298 rebounds, by the way. And just to give you an idea, like Rakeem Christmas finished with 282 in 14-15. Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty good, right? Brissett 254, Sidibe 242, Guerrier 236. So pretty good.
Yeah.
Give credit where credit's due. That's all I'm asking. I think it's fair. So, anyways, Syracuse, we'll talk about the game a little bit. I guess right now, since that's what this show is for. Winning to finish the season at home on senior night, awesome. Crowd was good. And actually a pretty good turnout for a team that was less than exciting this year. And, to show out on a game like that, and especially at 8:00 at night on a Saturday, I thought was really good. And your seniors showed out. Jair Davis, Lucas Taylor, they both had 15?
Yep.
So, I mean, all of a sudden, these two cats, especially Lucas Taylor, just coming up big. I mean, enough can't be said for what they've done to close the year out. And not for anything, it's good momentum to head into the ACC tournament with this kind of steam, even albeit one game, but high on their horse. And also a team, too, that is kind of... they're sneaky good and easily underestimated for who they are. They're sneaky good and probably underestimated by anybody they're going to play. I mean, the last time we played Florida State was what? It was kind of an ass whooping. We kind of started to make a game out of it at one point, if I remember right, but 90-74 ended up being the final score of that one. So handled us pretty good. And
great defense.
What's that?
Great defense.
Great defense. Yeah. So, and by the way, Starling and Freeman both played in that game. I think that was the last game they played together.
Yeah, but that was a funky game, though.
Well, what do you mean?
JJ.
What about it was funky?
Well, because it was JJ's first game back from his injury.
Sure.
And he wasn't 100%. And then, they weren't used to playing with each other. And then Donnie Freeman obviously wasn't 100% because that was his last game before he went on the injured reserve for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it was like right at the pass by transition from one off the bench, one on the bench. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Bell, 18 points in that game. I'm not sure if he's had a game like that since. So, we'll see what happens. I'm not overly optimistic. I'm more realistic than anything, but it was just good to see Syracuse pull off a win at home, knowing that this thing comes down to some kind of ACC run. And, at least if they make a showing, Joe, and, my expectations are not to make the tournament. Okay. If I'm being totally honest, I think that's a reasonable, outlook on things. I just want to win some games. Because if I remember right, we have not won more than, one game in the ACC tournament at a time? Like, we haven't not strung together wins in the ACC tournament ever.
Yeah, I don't think we've been very successful in the ACC. That's for sure.
No, the best year we had was the year Buddy Boeheim gutted that dude. So, yeah. You go ahead and beat Florida State, and you got a chance again at SMU. You can go in there and try to put together, go in there with a chip on your shoulder for both of these games, and go in there and see what you can give them. Give them hell. So, if we're going to be anywhere on this bracket, this isn't a bad spot to be. To be honest with you,
No.
I mean, you could be you're the 12 or 13 seed. I think is probably the better route, but it is what it is. Because I don't think UNC is great. I don't think they're even that good, to be honest with you. So, but anyway, Joe, your thoughts. I mean, what are we doing? Are we just sitting here blowing hot steam out of our mouths, talking about some kind of ACC run? What are your expectations? Like, are you with me? We put this thing out there, and we go in Tuesday. What is it? Tuesday at 7, and see what we can give Florida State. And if we win, do we get all excited and say, you know what, there is a chance?
I don't know if I'm that far into it, to be perfectly honest. I mean, look.
You're the one that I try to be super positive around, because whenever I'm super negative, you make me feel bad. Like you make me feel bad. Like I'm overreacting negatively, and you're like, oh well, so mathematics, technically. Go ahead.
Yes, obviously we still have a chance to make a run. It's just, what are the chances? That's really my most difficult. That's my difficult thing. Of just 5 games in 5 days. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I think I'm right there with you. I
don't think that if I had to put money on it, Joe, they go and they lose against Florida State. I mean, if I'm betting on this, I'm not betting for them to beat Florida State. Okay. Yeah, with the track record they have, you'd have to be crazy. However, they can. Like I said, the team's actually not that bad right now. And let's be honest, this team's gotten better. Individual players have all gotten better.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm at. I think, Zuba actually wrote something on Noons the other day talking about how, we have had close games. And I think, to my count, going through their roster, they have 7 games that they lost by 6 points or less. It's just, I don't know.
You go through the roster for that?
What's that?
You go through the roster for that? Where did you?
Sorry, schedule. My bad. But if you take away some of those games that we could have won, if we could have finished some games like Texas and Texas Tech, that would have been pretty good in the non-conference, plus not losing to Georgetown or Notre Dame when Starling was out. I mean, just little things like that. We went 6-5 in the non-conference, and we very easily, if we could have closed games out, we could have been 9-2. And that would have changed a little bit as far as our net rankings go and expectations. But realistically, when you look at the ACC, because of how down they are, you would have had to have an amazing year to be even in the tournament at this point. So,
well, I don't think UNC makes it this year.
I mean, I think that UNC's close only because of how difficult their non-conference schedule was. SMU's non-conference schedule was not that difficult. I don't think Wake Forest's was either. They both finished 13-7 in the league, and SMU's 22-9, and Wake Forest is 21-10. But I don't think that they're going to get in unless they make a run or beat a good team like a Louisville or a Clemson or a Duke, because of just the way that the ACC's been perceived this year. So, it's just unfortunate because you don't want to look this bad, obviously, the worst season in almost 60 years. But at the same time, 13-8 in this position or 19-12 in the same situation that Stanford's in is putting you in the same situation, unless you're a fan that cares about making the NITs. So,
well, yeah, which is nobody. In fact, players don't even care about making an NIT anymore. Like, no one cares about it.
What it seems like at this point, right?
Yeah, no one cares. I mean, after our team just dissipated last year with transfers and the like, and I don't care. There was a point in time where I was like, okay, we'll play in the NIT.
At least you get some extra games, right?
Yeah.
And the way that it's been going, and with this senior laden, well, at least with the transfers and everything, I feel like this team might actually have played in the NITs if they made it. But
what?
But I'm not saying they're going to make it. I'm saying
I don't think they would have made it anyway.
Well, I'm saying even if you were to flip those 7, and the scenario was right. What I'm saying right now.
Okay.
And our record is 20-11, and we went 11-9 or 12-8 in the ACC. We're still on the outside looking in.
Right.
I mean, realistically, when you look at that, that's just where it is. Now, we still would have been in a position where we would have had to make a run. We wouldn't have been playing on a Tuesday, but we still would have had to play on a Wednesday and make a run and beat one of those teams. So I think in the end, I think the ACC gets 4, but I think that we just got to all keep it in perspective, because I feel like if you're a fan, albeit you want to be over 500, but if you're a fan that's either NCAA or bust, then it would have been real tough for this team to make the NCAA regardless, even if we win the close games.
Yeah, which is, just all that more disappointing.
Yeah.
Because there's so much work to be done.
Well, and that's the thing is we've played a lot of games, either half of the game or 3/4 of the game with some good teams that have been competing right there with them. But that 10 minutes of just not being able to hit shots or play defense, it's just too much. It's too much to overcome. And to your point,
go on. I got something for you in a second.
Okay. But to your point, they are playing better for what it's worth. But I mean, is it going to be enough? We can sit here and say that probably was the best game. They've been playing, NC State was a complete game. Virginia was a complete game. And then we had games in between where we had double-digit leads against decent squads, and we just couldn't finish. But I'd say, you should be playing your best basketball at the end of the season. We are playing our best basketball at the end of the season, but I don't really know.
Just should have been played this well, and probably within the first at the 30% mark.
That's what I'm saying. Like how many games gets flipped, and then really does it even really matter? So for what it's worth, they're playing better, the best basketball that they've played. It's just
right.
And Florida State, they've had a tough schedule. They just actually beat SMU on Saturday, but they were on a 4-game losing streak. When we played them, they were 10-4, and now they're 17-14. So they finished the season 7-10 in the last 17 games. But they also played Louisville twice, Clemson twice, so, and then it was like Duke, North Carolina, they're just back-to-back at Virginia. So, I mean, I don't know if it's just their schedule was tough here in the back end, or that they went through some type of, they did lose some games. They lost to NC State, they lost to Virginia Tech. So Florida State, I think, is beatable, and obviously I don't think that they're going to beat us that as bad as the first game.
I would agree. Like I said, I think even there's a chance that we win. I just wouldn't put money on it. In fact, if I put money on it, put money on Florida State, and it's a win-win if they do win for me.
Florida State, as far as right now goes, is a 2.5-point favorite.
Okay. Well, good. We'll see what happens. So I asked Grok to give us like a just while you were talking, I just hit this thing on here. I was on the computer. I'm not usually on the computer on Twitter or on X. So I asked it to do like a synopsis of us and our page and stuff. And it says, at Cuse Militia's diehard Syracuse fan duo proudly bleed in orange as they roast refs and rivals alike. Believe in their scrappy orange squad can outshine even the sloppiest pit drunks. Cuse Militia's been dissecting Syracuse's roller coaster games from Pitt's drunk stumble to a snowy Virginia Beach rant. The ex-community rallies around Cuse Militia with Joe Catskill cheering their Go Orange spirit, and if not now, when 84 praising their football insights. And our quote for this whole thing is, Cuse went to fart and shit themselves at Cuse Militia. Oh my gosh. AI's drunk. That's the problem.
That's what it sounds like. Or maybe they're just picking up that we drink while we're doing the podcast. I don't know.
It's pretty damn funny. Okay.
That is funny.
It got a lot of stuff is right in there. I wonder, this thing's crazy. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know what else to say. You want to go to thoughts on the game, all 10 of them from Twitter?
Did you do Facebook or no?
I didn't.
Okay.
And that's my bad. I just forgot about Facebook. I mean, but if X got 10, then just figure Facebook got 3.
Dude, I would have got 6, and 4 of them would have been one-word answers.
Right. At Joe Catskill, let's start here. Speaking of our buddy Joe. This was the best game they played all season. Relentless defense and good shooting. It got tense for me when they turned over the first possession of the second half. They didn't cave and completed the game. Go Orange. On to the ACC tournament with some mo. So, yeah, I mean, this Joe's always pleasant, positive outlook. At Joe's Mom 44.
What?
Glad we won. Yeah, we got these. This is what we're going to get. Say, our buddy Nadal, say what you will about this year, but a win over Virginia is always sweet. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, because it is. And I don't care if you're having a bad year or not. And then we get I didn't even know he played last night. Huh? At Power Surge, I literally was expecting him to fall apart until the final media timeout. I let myself relax after that. I mean, I was right there with you. I put a real quick poll out. Said, will Syracuse blow this lead? And I think it was like 79% of 88 people who voted thought we were going to. And I put that out before the first half ended. I think, you get trained to be pessimistic sometimes. And we were trained.
No, yeah.
At JSA SU alum. Wish they played together that well all season. Absolutely. Let's just call this dude Kevin. Best game this year, in my opinion. And then Casey, Cavs suck. They do suck. That's it. Either we're not popular anymore, Joe, or...
No.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, man. I'm a little sad about it. It's okay, though.
It's probably a little bit of both, I think there's probably some people that are upset we don't go live anymore to give them the opportunity to come on and rant about their... But I think, dude, people have checked out. I was talking to Joe P. I mean, again, it's just there's a lot of people that don't know they're playing unless you say something. So
yeah, that's kind of sad a little bit. I mean, I know when every game is. I mean, I've kind of checked out too. Like, here's my version of checking out. Basketball's not on all day on 2 different TVs at my house anymore. It's just not. It's more so I watch Syracuse, and if there's late games on, I watch those. And if I catch an ACC game, I try to have it at least on in the background. I mean, it's for the simple fact that, not for anything, dude. Like, we haven't been doing previews, right, for basketball?
No, not really.
And so I realized that I don't need to watch every ACC game. So I didn't. Syracuse beat themselves more times than games they actually beat other people this year. It's close. I know that's an exaggeration, but it's close. 13 wins on the year so far. You brought up 7 that were close enough to win. You could probably go through this list and come up with a couple more.
Probably.
And
Miami's not on that list, and we were right there.
Right, and Miami sucks.
The second Pittsburgh game.
The second Pittsburgh game when we were up by what? Like, it was a lot. 20? Wasn't it like 20? I thought it was high.
It was high. It was in the double digits.
Yeah, the Miami game where we led the whole game and they came back at the very end. SMU, they literally won at the last second. It sucks. By the way, We never got to bitch about that being a 9:00 start. It's too bad. Missed opportunity there.
The SMU
to
game?
complain, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Stayed up, but yeah, I mean, I think.
And then the Virginia Tech game, which I'm sorry, did we talked about Virginia Tech, right? That one, we did
a little bit, maybe not.
No, we did. I'm pretty sure we did. That one hurt because we were here last Sunday. Anyways, go on. What were you gonna say?
No, I don't know.
You can say no. Which sucks more, this show or Syracuse basketball this year?
Ooh. I'd say it depends on if you got season tickets or not.
Yeah, right.
The show's free.
Yeah, right, because the show is free and you don't have to listen. If you've bought a season's worth of tickets, then I mean, it could be if you're going to be jaded by something, it could be that.
Yeah, and even then, it's like even if let's just say even like okay, well I'm checked out, I'm done, but I'm gonna like you still got to put in the work to sell them, just to try to get something back, right?
Right. Yeah, it's work. It's like posting something on eBay.
Right. Here it's free, and then if you don't want to listen, then you just don't have to listen. Yeah, there's no work doing that. So yeah,
That's true.
I like what you were saying, like as far as checking out. Like for me, the checking out is just not getting emotionally invested in it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I add that to my list too.
You know, like it's just one of those things where I don't feel like you said, I don't feel like I have to watch a lot of these other games to try to learn other teams or do the research or sit there and get mad and get all pumped up and anxious for the game. You know, it's a lot easier to just, okay.
Not care.
No expectations. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, see
when I get into it, it's like the last 10 minutes if it's close or not.
Because we're usually either losing a lead or possibly about to win.
Yep, pretty much. That's what it feels like.
As of late. I have been trained to emotionally disengage myself from all sports from being an Oakland Raiders fan. And I think if you know, if you're a fan of a team like that that's just sucked for over 20 years now, they're like the laughing stock of all of football, and you get used to like the jokes and losing and stuff, and after a while, you don't care. After a while, you make fun of them too. You know, be the first one with the joke. You know, it's like when you do or say something stupid and you make fun of yourself, it's easier to just do it first before someone else does. So it takes away everybody's ammunition. That's where I learned it from. It's being a Raiders fan. Which, I mean, am I a Raiders fan anymore? I mean, I don't even know.
Gino's baby?
I mean, no, I'm good. I don't care. He could have kept Minshew for all I care. You know what I mean?
Better than those guys that you ran out with last year.
Yeah, I know.
Seattle traded him for you to pick up Sam Darnold in free agency, so I don't know what's going on there, but
I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean that's really right where it comes.
Yeah, I mean it's like the replacements. You got Max Crosby and a bunch of bums. That's that team. Unfortunately, I don't even feel bad saying it. Huh?
I think they're a lot better.
What?
I think that they're a lot better than you think.
No. Remember Aiden O'Connell when he played for Purdue and Syracuse played him and we actually won that game? We're like, man, Aiden O'Connell, he's pretty good. Blah, blah. He is pretty good. He's just not.
I didn't think he was going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Well, if you play for the Raiders, you can be. That's where I'm going.
Well, the Giants too, because they just re-signed Tom DeVito.
So you guys created a circus. You guys created a circus is what you did. I don't know who's running the Giants show, but
pretty sure they're running the Raiders show too. The same guy.
It might be the same guy. I mean, it's a joke. That's a joke. No offense to Tommy DeVito, but that was a joke. And Aiden O'Connell actually did okay. But you're right. He's not a starting quarterback. He's not. He was benched. He was started, benched, and then started again.
And just back and forth between him and Minshew. It was almost like he started who had the better matchup.
It's like, which one of these backup quarterbacks do we think can win this game today?
Yeah.
and they fight it out in practice, and who knows? You just throw in.
Kind of like what we do, though, right? I mean, we start the same guys, but then depending on how they do or what the matchup is, depends on. I mean, I would have loved to have had the Lucas Taylor of Saturday for the whole season. I mean, Carlos has been playing better. Same thing with Lamp. I mean, Lampkin's a beast, but in the beginning of the season, minus Texas game and everything.
Go back and look at him. Look at his physique in the beginning of the year, and look at him now.
Oh, it's completely different. And he was wearing stuff like on his legs. He had some back stuff going on.
Yeah, but he was overweight.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he was because of back issues. He couldn't. I
understand, but it
took the whole season for him to get into this kind of shape,
right? But he was fatigued easy. His stamina was low. He hung in there for fairly good for whatever he's got going on. And
you remember, remember the time where we questioned whether or not he could even dunk?
Yeah. It was kind of joking, but yeah.
Well, we didn't really see it, right? And then one day he came out with no braces on his legs and went up and.
Do you remember when Forrest Gump is running?
Look at Forrest Gump moment where he just came out and all of a sudden went up and
all of a sudden the braces come off in the freaking hallelujah, dude's dunking.
Yeah, blocked a shot the other day. I was all right. So, yeah, I mean, look, they're going to go out there and they're going to play. They're going to try. And, hopefully it is a situation where Florida State looks past them. I'd like to watch a couple more games. You're not out till you're out, Problem is we have Duke in Louisville and Clemson.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't Louisville, Duke wouldn't come into it unless we made it to the championship with them. And
right, but that's the thing. We need to go that whole way.
I understand. Here's where I am. I'm not there. We ain't doing that. Hey, go ahead.
And to be perfectly honest with you, to me, there really are only about three teams that maybe if you throw North Carolina in the way they've been playing, but I feel like we could probably beat any of the other teams. They're not really that much better. It's just we'd have to put together some hella good games to beat, the Wake Forests and Stanfords and North Carolinas of the world.
The where we're at is a decent route to win a couple games. I mean, if you can beat Florida State, have a shot at SMU, and cross your fingers for Clemson. I don't know. The other route is you have to play Notre Dame or Pitt, then beat UNC and then play Wake Forest. That's the other easier route in my opinion. And then the other one obviously is playing Louisville, and then the other route's Duke.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to win some games. If we can make it to Clemson and lose, okay, fine. But at least we won 2 games in one ACC tournament, which I don't think has happened. I could be wrong. What happened with the year with Buddy Boeheim got knocked out of it? Did we win 2 games then? Because we played Duke.
I think we did win 2 games.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I think we won 2 games because we won the game that he obviously elbowed, but then we played Duke next game.
Yeah, and I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, to go to the championship maybe. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly, but if you're playing Duke, you probably won more than 1 game. That's all I'm saying.
It's fair.
Unless you had a 2-round bye, which we didn't. However, we'll see what happens. I don't really have much else to say. I'm just happy that we got the win. It's nice seeing the seniors, albeit most of the seniors, other than Kyle Cuff, I think we're only there a year.
Kyle Cuff is not a senior.
Oh, what is he? Junior?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Either that or redshirt sophomore. I mean, I think the only seniors we had was Jair Davis, Lucas Taylor, Eddie Lampkin.
Okay. All right. Well, fair.
Wait, Carlos.
Yeah.
It was the transfers and Naheem McLeod.
Okay, so Naheem McLeod's a senior too.
I think
so. He was there. He was the only one that was there for more than a year. Then
they wanted to make. Yep.
Yeah.
They wanted to get a dub on my birthday. So.
Oh, gosh. Forgot your birthday.
That's all right.
It's not all right, Joe. Did you?
Sure it is.
I remembered it last year.
Yeah.
I did.
You did. It's all right.
And it's the same day as my mother-in-law's. And you know what? I forgot hers too. If it makes you feel any better.
That makes me feel real bad.
It was late in the day. Yesterday was a day. So, and they didn't play on your birthday. It was Saturday. You're right. Saturday was a day. And by the way, my wife says, we gained an hour of sleep tonight. And I go, we do?
No, you didn't.
And so I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, stayed up a little bit later than normal. I'm like, wait, you know what? We lose an hour. I'm like, not only am I thinking I'm gaining an hour, so I stayed up later, but now I'm 2 hours out.
Yep.
Because I should have been to bed an hour earlier than normal. And now I hear I'm over an hour later than normal. So now I'm negative 2 hours. So anyway, as soon as we could stop that mess, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yes, I forgot your birthday. That's okay though, because I don't think you've ever wished me happy birthday. So that's fine. And I don't care. I don't need a happy birthday. I'm not that guy.
I don't even know if I know when yours is.
Exactly. And
so
you don't need to. Right.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't bring that up.
You did. You brought it up. You brought it up.
I brought it up
to take a jab at me, and now I'm defensive.
Not my intentions.
No, well, you know what?
Just taking it the wrong way.
Oh, okay. You brought it up to jab me with it, and then when I react, then all of a sudden it's you're that guy. You're that guy that does the things, and then when someone reacts, you're like, "Whoa, dude! I wasn't trying to get you riled up or anything. I was just saying it was my birthday."
Really?
Yeah. It's you.
Kind of like somebody who wants to poke the bear like I put ketchup on my hot dog all the time.
Totally different. Totally different. That's not me making you feel bad. That's you just me talking about how gross you are. That's it.
But it's false.
But some people, some grown men, you forget their birthday and they're all kinds of butthurt about it.
That's a fair statement.
You know what I mean? Are you one of those guys? Why'd you do that then?
Why'd I do what?
Why'd you try to make me feel bad about it?
I'm not trying to make you feel bad about it.
Well, I'd hate to see you try. Okay?
Well, I'm not going. I just simply brought it up. That was probably the only reason they won.
It's your birthday, my mother-in-law's birthday, and my buddy. The first dude I ever became good friends with when I moved down here is his birthday too. And I forgot all of you. Now, my mother-in-law eventually got a happy birthday.
You do understand that I know how busy you are, and that I know
that's not an excuse. It's fine.
We don't care we don't care really about that stuff.
We don't. Did you have a good birthday? What'd you do?
It was all right. I went out for some drinks and lunch, and then came back and watched Syracuse. Well, watched the Duke, North Carolina, then Syracuse, then the UFC fight.
Yeah, so the UNC Duke game was good at the end of the first half, actually.
Then part way through the second until Duke just...
I didn't watch any in the second half because the Syracuse game started. Malik
Brown hit 2 threes. And...
Who's Malik Brown?
I'm not even to begin to explain.
Yeah, we're not going to start that whole rant. All right, well, look, if you're still here, we appreciate you for listening to this mess all season. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe we got another show left in us. Maybe we got another couple. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Syracuse, FSU. For Joe, Sean, we're out.
Peace.